He carried this family on his shoulders when their own father walked away. He fed the kids, got them to school, kept the house running while Kody Brown chased power and praise. And now, the man Kody never saw coming is back, not to argue, not to film, but to protect what's left of his siblings' future. Breaking news out of Arizona tonight. Logan Brown was seen entering the Coconino County Courthouse early this morning, not casually, not for paperwork, but allegedly to file an emergency legal action that could change everything. And what followed has sent shockwaves through Flagstaff, because what we now have in our possession is something far darker than family drama. We are talking about financial betrayal. We are talking about money that was meant for children, allegedly siphoned off to protect one wife's lifestyle. Before we go any further, stop scrolling. This is the moment the story flips. Logan stepped in when Kody stepped out. Ask yourself honestly, who actually raised this family? If you believe Kody should be held accountable for every single penny, type Team Logan in the comments right now. Hit subscribe and stay with us, because what's coming next exposes everything. For years, we've watched the Brown family fall apart in slow motion. Wives left, kids were emotionally sidelined, and Kody Brown spiraled, paranoid, angry, defensive. But through all of it, one name stayed clean: Logan Brown, the eldest, the one who walked away from the cameras, the one who built a quiet, successful life with Michelle, the one Kody could never criticize because Logan did everything right. And according to explosive reports emerging today, that silence is over. Multiple sources confirm Logan was spotted in downtown Flagstaff this morning, not in hiking gear, not blending in. He was wearing a suit, carrying a briefcase, and standing beside him was a man identified as a high-level Phoenix-based financial attorney, the kind that handles forensic audits, estate disputes, and aggressive asset recovery. Logan does not come to Flagstaff for nothing. He doesn't play games, and he definitely doesn't show up with a lawyer unless something has gone terribly wrong. This isn't about hurt feelings. This is about money. Children's money. Whispers from inside the family circle suggest Kody Brown may have crossed a legal line, allegedly draining long-standing savings accounts set aside for Savannah, Truly, and Isabel. Accounts believed to be emergency and education funds, quietly emptied to cover balloon payments on Robyn's land, and a spending habit insiders describe as completely out of control. And this is where the story turns from disturbing to potentially criminal. Late last night, a bank ledger briefly appeared online before vanishing, but screenshots exist. One transaction made the entire fandom freeze: an $80,000 transfer, labeled tuition, but the routing details tell a different story. Online investigators believe the money didn't go to a university. It allegedly landed in an account connected to Robyn Brown's collectibles and a shadow LLC. $80,000. That's surgery money. That's housing security. That's a child's future. Gone. Kody has spent years calling himself the patriarch, the provider, but when the mothers were working and he was bouncing between houses, Logan was the one making breakfast. Logan was the one raising kids. Logan was the father. So when Logan discovered that money meant for the siblings he raised had allegedly vanished, he didn't rage, he didn't shout, he went legal. That's why he's back. We know Coyote Pass has been a financial black hole. Loans, refinancing, debt stacking, and the leaked ledger suggests the cash to keep it all afloat didn't come from income. It came from cannibalizing his own children's futures. Then comes the shell game. Kody and Robyn's LLC, Dabsark, conveniently includes only her children, everyone else excluded. But here's the chilling update. A new company was allegedly filed just last month, this time listing Robyn's daughters as officers. Assets moved, ownership shifted, money hidden. Why? asset shielding. If lawsuits are coming, and all signs suggest they are, assets tied to Robyn's children become harder to touch, harder to reclaim. It's a legal maze designed to stall justice. Except Kody forgot one thing. You cannot hide from forensic accounting. Forensic accountants don't look at what you claim to have. They look at where money disappeared. And allegedly, what they found is devastating. Patterns, microtransactions, hundreds here, thousands there, over a decade, slowly bleeding the family pot dry. And then comes the signature. A document now circulating within county records allegedly bears Janelle Brown's signature authorizing a loan modification on Coyote Pass. But here's the problem. Sources insist Janelle wasn't even in Arizona that day. She was reportedly in North Carolina with her grandchildren. If that signature was forged, this isn't civil court anymore. This is felony territory, bank fraud, identity theft. That letter allegedly landed in Janelle's mailbox, thanking her for cooperation she never gave. And instead of screaming, she made one call to Logan. That call changed everything. Logan didn't come to argue, he came to dismantle. And the confrontation that followed has neighbors shaken. Witnesses say a dark sedan pulled into Robyn and Kody's driveway. Logan stepped out calmly. Kody exploded, shouting, finger-pointing, demanding respect, trying to intimidate his son like he used to. But Logan didn't move, and when Kody finally stopped yelling, Logan allegedly said something that, for most of his life, he carried a responsibility that was never meant to be his. While Kody Brown called himself the head of the family, it was Logan Brown who actually held everything together. He was the one waking up early, making sure his younger siblings were fed, dressed, and safe. And now, years later, the brother who once protected them emotionally has returned to protect them financially. Something major happened in Flagstaff this morning. Logan Brown was reportedly seen walking into the Coconino County Courthouse, not casually, not for paperwork, but with purpose. Witnesses say he wasn't alone. He was accompanied by a high-powered financial attorney, the kind of lawyer you don't hire unless money has gone missing and accountability is about to be enforced. And that's where this story begins to turn dark. Because according to multiple sources close to the situation, Logan isn't back for a family visit. He's back because he believes the money meant for his siblings' futures has been taken, and what he's uncovered is being described as explosive. Before we go any further, pause for a second. Logan stepped up when Kody didn't. He raised kids that weren't his responsibility. Now ask yourself, who has really been the father in this family? If you believe the truth deserves to come out, comment Team Logan, subscribe, and stay right here. What you're about to hear changes everything. For years, viewers have watched the Brown family crumble. Wives walked away, relationships collapsed, children were pushed to the side. And through it all, Kody Brown grew angrier, more isolated, more defensive. But there was always one name that stayed untouched by scandal: Logan Brown. The eldest son, the one who refused the spotlight, the one who walked away from filming and quietly built a stable, private life with his wife Michelle. Logan never needed drama, he never needed attention, and because of that, Kody could never control him, which is exactly why this moment matters. Early this morning, photos briefly surfaced online showing Logan in downtown Flagstaff, not in casual clothes, not blending in. He was wearing a suit, carrying a briefcase, and standing next to a man local sources identify as a Phoenix-based financial attorney known for aggressive forensic audits. Those images were quickly deleted, but the damage was done. Logan Brown does not show up like this unless something has gone very wrong. According to insiders, what triggered this return is the belief
Logan Brown's return isn't emotional, it's surgical. People close to the situation say this isn't about shouting matches or family meetings, it's about numbers. It's about tracing where the money went and who benefited from it. Because once Logan allegedly saw the records, it became clear this wasn't poor financial management, it looked deliberate. For years, the Brown family money was described as one shared pot. Everyone contributed. Everyone trusted Kody to manage it. But according to new information coming out of Arizona, that one pot never really existed. It was divided, redirected, and slowly reshaped in ways the other wives and children never agreed to. The focus now is on the business entities Kody created with Robyn. On paper, they look harmless, family companies, asset management. But when financial experts began examining them, something disturbing appeared. The names listed weren't the full family. They were selective. Robyn's children were protected. The others were invisible. And that's not accidental. Sources suggest Kody began moving assets into these companies years ago. Small transfers at first, hundreds, then thousands. Nothing dramatic enough to raise alarms. Over time, those numbers quietly added up to life-changing amounts of money. This is where forensic accounting comes in. Forensic accountants don't ask what you meant to do, they ask what you actually did. They follow patterns. They look for money that disappears and reappears under different names. And according to leaks tied to this investigation, the trail points in one direction, toward Robyn's lifestyle. Insiders allege money labeled for family needs was redirected to pay down land debt, credit cards, and high-value purchases tied to Robyn's assets. Art, collectibles, jewelry, items that don't lose value, items that can be sold quietly if needed. And then there's the transaction everyone keeps coming back to, the $80,000 transfer, labeled education, routed somewhere else entirely. If that money truly came from accounts meant for Savannah, Truly, or Isabel, this stops being a moral issue. It becomes a legal one. Because moving protected funds under false descriptions crosses a line, especially when those funds are meant for children. This is why Logan didn't come alone. The attorney seen beside him is known for dismantling complex financial structures, the kind designed to confuse, the kind meant to hide responsibility. People familiar with his work say when he shows up, it means someone believes assets are about to disappear. And that brings us to timing. Coyote Pass has been bleeding money. Deadlines, loan pressure, rising interest. The question everyone has been asking is simple. How were those payments being made? The leaked records suggest a terrifying answer. Kody wasn't generating new income. He was consuming the future. This explains something viewers couldn't understand for years. Janelle saying she had nothing, no house, no equity, after decades of work. The money.
What happened next wasn't planned for cameras. There were no producers, no microphones, just raw reality. According to people living nearby, a dark vehicle pulled up outside Robyn and Kody's house earlier this week. Not fast, not dramatic, calm, deliberate. Logan Brown stepped out. No shouting, no theatrics, just confidence. Kody came out almost immediately, and that's when everything snapped. Witnesses say Kody exploded, arms flailing, voice raised, the same aggressive performance viewers have seen for years. He was reportedly yelling about respect, authority, about being the head of the family. He tried to tower over Logan to reduce him to a child again, but Logan didn't react. He stood there, still, silent, letting Kody burn himself out. And when Kody finally stopped, expecting submission, Logan allegedly spoke, calmly, clearly, without emotion. "You don't own this house. The bank does, and I'm taking over the debt." That sentence changed everything, because those words don't come from anger, they come from leverage. If the reports are accurate, Logan isn't just preparing lawsuits, he's positioning himself to control the notes tied to the property. And if that happens, the power dynamic flips completely. The son becomes the bank, the father becomes the liability. Witnesses say Kody froze, the shouting stopped, the performance vanished. Because Kody understands debt, he understands leverage. And in that moment, he realized the man standing in front of him wasn't a son asking questions, it was a professional closing in. But Logan didn't stop there. Within hours, a legal notice appeared connected to Coyote Pass, a filing so aggressive it effectively locks the property in place. No selling, no refinancing, no emergency cash outs. The land is frozen until the books are opened and the money is accounted for. Kody is now surrounded by assets he can't touch and bills that don't stop coming. Inside Robyn's house, the atmosphere is reportedly tense, boxes appearing, valuables being reorganized, because if the forensic audit confirms what insiders are claiming, anything purchased with misused funds is at risk of seizure. And then there's the document, the one with the signature. The signature Janelle says isn't hers. If that allegation is proven, this moves beyond family court. Forged signatures don't end in settlements. They end in criminal investigations. And people close to the situation say Logan knows exactly how serious that is. That's why this feels different. This isn't another season of arguments. This isn't reality TV drama. This is the collapse of a narrative that lasted nearly 2 decades. Kody built his identity on being the leader, the provider, the man in control. But when the numbers are stripped of emotion, a different story appears. One where the real stability came from the children he leaned on, one where the real sacrifice came from the wives who worked, and one where the real protector was the son who walked away until he was needed again. Logan didn't come back to be seen. He came back to end it. The audit results are expected soon, and when they arrive, they won't care about excuses. They won't care about tears. They will care about math, about trails, about intent. If you believe the children deserve justice, if you believe accountability matters, now is the moment. Hit like, subscribe, comment Team Logan if you think
What followed after the confrontation wasn't loud. It was far more dangerous than shouting. Because while Kody was still standing in his driveway trying to process what had just happened, Logan had already moved on to the final phase. This wasn't emotional cleanup, this was containment. According to sources familiar with the filings, Logan returned straight to the courthouse to submit documents designed to stop Kody from moving a single dollar more. And this is where the trap closed. A legal notice was allegedly posted on the Coyote Pass property shortly after. Not a warning, not a threat, a declaration. One that tells every bank, every lender, every title office one simple thing. This land is now under dispute. That means no selling, no refinancing, no last-minute cash grabs. Kody is officially locked in. For a man whose entire life has revolved around control, this is psychological warfare. He can see the land, he can walk it, but he can't use it. Every escape route he relied on has been sealed, and the timing couldn't be worse. People close to the situation say Kody is cash-strapped. Payments are due monthly. Legal fees don't wait. And once forensic accountants are involved, costs explode fast. Every hour they work is another receipt being examined, another transfer being questioned. Inside Robyn's house, the mood has reportedly shifted from confidence to panic. Sources claim valuables are being reorganized, items moved, not displayed, hidden. Because once funds are proven to be misused, ownership doesn't matter. Origin does. If something was bought with children's money, it doesn't belong to you. And then there's the audit. This is the document everyone is waiting for. Unlike rumors, unlike leaks, the audit doesn't speculate. It reconstructs reality. It maps every dollar from where it started to where it landed. And according to insiders, the numbers don't just look bad, they look intentional. Patterns don't lie. If the audit confirms tuition-labeled money flowing into private accounts, if it confirms asset transfers timed around debt deadlines, if it confirms signatures appearing where consent didn't exist, then this story jumps tracks entirely. This stops being a family dispute. This becomes a criminal file. And here's what makes this moment historic. Logan isn't acting out of revenge. He's acting out of responsibility. The same responsibility he carried as a teenager. The same instinct to protect when no one else would. Only now he has resources. He has lawyers. He has leverage. Kody spent years demanding loyalty while mismanaging trust. He ruled through chaos, through fear, through emotional pressure. But none of that works in a courtroom. Numbers don't bend, documents don't argue back, and Logan knows that. That's why this feels final. This isn't another cycle. This isn't another apology tour. This is the end of the illusion.
the moment where the story stops being told by confessionals and starts being told by evidence. The audit results are expected imminently, and when they surface, they won't just answer where the money went, they'll answer who this family was really built by. If you believe Savannah, Truly, and Isabel deserved better, if you believe the truth matters more than loyalty, stay with us. Hit like, subscribe, comment Team Logan, because the next drop doesn't expose drama, it exposes receipts. And once those receipts are public, there's no rewriting history.